and it looked like SHEDEUR Sanders has been removed from the Browns' second-string quarterback. I am here to tell you, man, some footage was released yesterday, and what's crazy about all of this is that even me, I missed this, which is very, very rare. That is a video of SHEDEUR Sanders warming up. Now, I actually reported on a video of SHEDEUR Sanders warming up, and I actually included the video of Bailey Zappe next to Dillon Gabriel warming up their arms.
The Cleveland Browns just made a move so baffling it could make a Rubik's Cube cry, demoting SHEDEUR Sanders from QB2 and promoting Bailey Zappe instead. Yes, the same Bailey Zappe who sounds more like a new soda flavor than a quarterback. Fans are losing their minds, the locker room's on edge, and no one can tell whether this is a bold strategy or complete chaos. One thing's for sure, the Browns season just turned into must-watch reality TV.
Well, the Browns are in New England looking to start a win streak for the first time since the 2023 season as they take on the Patriots Sunday afternoon. But they now have a third injury to report entering the game. On Saturday, quarterback SHEDEUR Sanders was added to the Browns injury report. He's dealing with back tightness. He's questionable for the game, joining tight end David Njoku, and defensive tackle Aiden Huntington is questionable. Njoku with a knee injury, Huntington in concussion protocol. The Browns elevated Bailey Zappe from the practice squad to the active roster as a precaution, but whoever is there at QB2 on Sunday, the Browns are looking to continue seeing growth from rookie Dillon Gabriel as he gears up for his fourth NFL start.
The Cleveland Browns have officially entered their chaos era again. After decades of heartbreak and confusion, you'd think they'd take a break, but no. This week, they benched SHEDEUR Sanders from QB2 and promoted Bailey Zappe, the human plot twist nobody saw coming. Fans are stunned, the locker room's tense, and Cleveland's drama just keeps escalating.
Yo, that's quarterback one and that's quarterback two. Now, it didn't click in my mind, I should say, that damn, Bailey Zappe has been elevated to quarterback two until I went on Twitter and seen somebody actually talk about it. Now, shortly after I seen somebody talk about this, it was actually brought to my attention that SHEDEUR Sanders is actually injured. Now, I know a lot of you guys is wondering, John, what are you talking about? Talking about this post right here. So this was the post that was...
The internet didn't just notice, it exploded. Cleveland Twitter hasn't been this wild since Baker Mayfield's Hulu days. A video surfaced showing SHEDEUR Sanders and Bailey Zappe warming up innocent enough, just two quarterbacks getting reps, until fans realized what it meant.
I knew they had a chance. Maybe Kevin said something, even didn't say something. That's exactly what happened today.
It's been a while since not only do we have like a text chain attached to people talking about it, but I had multiple people basically being like, you tuned in for this?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't miss it. They're boring, but I don't miss a Stefanski press conference. But it felt like it was like must-listen, appointment-listening territory here.
Yeah, I think people are conflating and maybe confusing that all Kevin Stefanski press conferences are even. They're not. The time, it's like down and distance. Not all coaching decisions are the same. The down and distance is, it's third and
Eagle-eyed fans caught it immediately. Bailey Zappe was right beside Dillon Gabriel, taking QB2 snaps like he already owned the job. No announcement, no press conference, not even a casual by the way. Just a quiet reshuffle, and suddenly the Browns' depth chart looked like it was built in the dark with a dartboard.
The Browns literally hate SHEDEUR Sanders. Now it's being reported that he has back tightness and he's questionable for the game. Now Bailey Zappe has been moved to the active roster because they don't feel safe with SHEDEUR as a backup. He hasn't played a single game. Every time he's coming in or getting time to shine, there's some type of weird injury that the staff is reporting. Back tightness? Are you serious? They know that he's going to get obliterated.
What's wild is how everyone missed it at first. That's the beauty of Browns football, you can watch the chaos unfold in real time and still not realize how bad it is until Twitter points it out. It only took one fan on social media shouting, "Hold up, why is Zappe warming up with the twos?" for the entire internet to lose its collective mind. Within minutes, conspiracy theories were flying faster than a Mahomes bullet pass. Then came the twist, word drops that SHEDEUR Sanders has been added to the injury report with back tightness. Apparently, it just tightened up overnight. Right, because that's exactly how it goes after all. This is the Browns, drama is practically part of the brand, and of course, local reporters dove right in. Mary Kay Cabot confirmed Zappe's elevation, sending Cleveland into full-blown meltdown mode. Let's talk about Bailey Zappe for a second. The guy went from backup in New England to backup in Cleveland, basically transferring from one chaotic franchise to another purely for the vibes. A Western Kentucky gunslinger, a Patriots draftee, and a survivor of the Belichick Ice Age, Zappe's seen enough quarterback rotations to write his own survival guide.
Before I get into what I really want to talk about, obviously we got to address the whole SHEDEUR Sanders being questionable for Sunday, Bailey Zappe being elevated from practice squad. After a week where the whole, SHEDEUR doesn't get any QB1 reps, it's funny how all of this stuff comes about, but I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I know a lot of people's heads are already going to, SHEDEUR's getting traded. Not happening. However, if he does get traded.
Now he's in Cleveland, sitting at QB2, probably looking around thinking, what kind of cursed opportunity is this? And honestly, you have to laugh, because the Browns didn't even bother to make it subtle. One day SHEDEUR is out there warming up with swagger, looking like the future, the next, he's suddenly on the injury report with an overnight back issue. Overnight. That's classic Cleveland, where mysterious injuries pop up faster than accountability sideline drama. It's like the Browns have an unspoken deal with the football gods, a little bit of hope in exchange for maximum confusion. Meanwhile, fans are spiraling, and the internet's having a field day. The classic Browns curse jokes are back in full force. Of course, the moment we draft Deion's kid, his back gives out. Or, maybe it's the Cleveland weather, even spines can't handle it here. But beyond the jokes, there's a real question lingering: what does this mean for the team? If SHEDEUR is truly hurt, fair enough. Protect the kid. But if not, well, Cleveland chaos is back in business.
I got practice yesterday dancing, looking happy, moving smoothly. Then come today, he's on the injury report. Now Bailey Zappe is getting elevated to number 2. Y'all, this is not no coincidence. Y'all, first, Kevin Stefanski come out this week and say he has not been getting no reps with the first string players when Dillon Gabriel was getting the first string reps when Joe Flacco was a starter. How sway? Man, I hate the Browns organization. I hate Kevin Stefanski, y'all. I'm over this shit. I wipe my hands with this shit, y'all. Why give my energy to this shit, y'all? They dog walked him. They use his name. They use his face. And then y'all treated him the worst and didn't even give him a chance.
But if this is really a quiet demotion disguised as an injury, that's a whole new level of messy. It's the kind of move that makes you wonder if the Browns coaching staff is running a football team or an improv troupe. And let's be honest, this franchise has a long history of bizarre quarterback decisions. The Browns and QB drama go together like rain in Cleveland, constant, cold, and absolutely unavoidable. What makes it even funnier is how low-key the whole thing was. No press conference, no big announcement, just a quiet little update buried in an injury report. That's the beauty and insanity of Browns football. It takes ordinary footage and transforms it into full-blown conspiracy theater, and honestly, Bailey Zappe deserves a medal just for surviving it. Each week, there's a new twist. One day you're backing up Mac Jones, the next you're behind Dillon Gabriel, and somehow, you're always one play away from chaos. Sure, maybe SHEDEUR really is hurt and Zappe's just stepping up, but why the confusion? Why the weird timing? Why does everything in Cleveland feel like a Scooby-Doo episode where the villain's always someone inside the house?
As the world turns in Cleveland, we just got word today that SHEDEUR Sanders will be out against the New England Patriots this week at home. SHEDEUR Sanders was the number 2 quarterback behind Dillon Gabriel, but they just activated Bailey Zappe off of the practice squad, and it looks like, for all intents and purposes, that he will be the number 2 quarterback, citing a back injury on SHEDEUR Sanders. We don't know what's the deal with that, but again, one more episode that gets SHEDEUR Sanders further away from making his first start in his debut.
The timing of it all couldn't have been more suspicious. The warm-up video drops, fans spot Bailey Zappe running with the twos, and only then does the injury report appear, like clockwork, almost rehearsed. That's not coincidence, that's Cleveland choreography. And if there's one thing Browns fans know, it's when something smells off. You can't fool a fan base that's lived through 47 quarterback changes since the invention of Wi-Fi. They can sense QB drama before the ink's even dry on the injury report. Imagine walking into practice, seeing Zappe taking QB2 reps, and thinking, wait, when did that happen? It's the most Browns update imaginable. The team's trying to keep calm while fans spiral into full-blown meltdown mode. Twitter threads, Reddit debates, TikTok breakdowns, people analyzing his warm-ups frame by frame like it's medical forensics. Everyone's suddenly a back specialist, saying things like, "It's probably a spasm, unless it's deeper." This is what happens when you mix Cleveland football with confusion, it turns into performance art. And the Browns? They remain the undisputed Picasso of chaos.
He's going to get sacked maybe 5 to 6 times. He's going to throw a pick. And he's just not going to be able to handle that Patriots defense. It's going to be obvious that he's not the person for the job. But instead, they're going to bring up Bailey Zappe to maybe let him come in when it gets out of control for Dylan Gabriel. They hate SHEDEUR so much that they don't even want him to come in the game at any instance. So this is what
The meltdown isn't just local anymore, it's gone national. Sports talk shows are in full frenzy, trying to decode what this means for the Browns season. One camp insists it's a smart precaution, no sense risking SHEDEUR Sanders back if it's really tight. The other camp believes this is the start of yet another Cleveland quarterback saga, where potential and confusion meet, and both lose. He's probably sitting there thinking, "I didn't even do anything. I just threw a few passes, and now I'm QB2. It's like winning a raffle for a prize you never wanted. Congratulations, you're the Browns' new backup." And this isn't just some small roster shuffle, it's a perfect snapshot of the Cleveland experience, chaos first, clarity never. Every single time. Even ESPN's analysts look worn out trying to make sense of it, knowing that whatever logic they use today probably won't survive next week's Browns plot twist.
What kind of business is it when you've got a 5'9" quarterback running around and could twist an ankle, and SHEDEUR would have to play Sunday in Foxborough, and he's not getting any reps? That seems like bad preparation, no?
It does. You wouldn't question it if you had a backup.
If it was Kelly Holcomb, yeah, right. If it was, yeah, right. I wouldn't. It's not. It's a kid he hasn't taken first-round team reps with anybody yet.
It's almost like, the coach is saying, "Okay, you gave me..."
Because Cleveland operates on its own law of physics, where logic doesn't exist and injuries double as PR tools. You have to admire the Browns' unique ability to generate chaos out of absolutely nothing. Most teams need a crushing loss or a scandal to make headlines. Cleveland? All it takes is a depth chart update. Suddenly, the city's panicking, the fans are in therapy, and the coaching staff's acting like everything's perfectly normal. Meanwhile, the team stays completely silent. No explanations, no reassurance, just radio silence while the fan base spirals into speculation overload. Every hour without clarity is like feeding the rumor monster, and it's growing fast. You can already see where this is headed. If ZAPPE performs even halfway decent as QB2, the narrative flips instantly. Maybe he's the better fit. Maybe SHEDEUR needs time. And that's how it always begins: a few good throws, a clean series, and suddenly there's a full-blown quarterback controversy. Cleveland doesn't rebuild, it reloads drama, one confusing headline at a time.
I don't think it's coincidence through 3 games he's been pretty unremarkable, and we're starting to hear some of the development that the Browns are telling the local
reporters. This has been my whole point the entire time, was that this was always going to happen this way, and we started to see it 2 weeks ago, and now we're seeing it last week, and now you're seeing it again today. The idea that once you start to see who Dylan Gabriel is, and they start to see who Dylan Gabriel is, they're going to try to take some credit for SHEDEUR Sanders. This is it. This is their saving grace, is the idea that they're going to try to make it seem as if SHEDEUR was not even close to ready previously, and now all of a sudden, voila, he's...
Remember when everyone said this would finally be the Browns' calm season? When the future looked steady and the focus was on development? Yeah, that lasted about 5 minutes. This team treats peace like a turnover, they just can't hold on to it. And honestly, Bailey Zappe probably didn't sign up for this level of chaos. At this point, it's not even about who's right or wrong, it's about the pattern. Every time the Browns seem to find direction, the universe steps in to remind them who they are, a franchise that can turn optimism into confusion faster than a ref can throw a flag. The front office might as well start selling popcorn, at least fans would get some entertainment value out of the drama. After all, Cleveland's had so many quarterbacks over the past 2 decades that the infamous jersey listing all their names should be in a museum. Adding Zappe to that list isn't shocking anymore, it's tradition. And yet, no matter how many twists come, Browns fans keep showing up. That's the real miracle, they still believe.
It's starting to matter a lot more. I'm still to the point where I'd be surprised if anyone gets moved on from ownership or from San Diego Pollard by anybody else before the end of the season. But I don't know how long that's going to last, because it does feel like there's a couple inflection points. There's a couple of pressure points where things are bubbling up to the surface. One, just being losing and being 1-4. Two, the quarterback position. And then three, I really do think like the impact that losing's having on this locker room. I think nothing is more fascinating than what do you do with a backup quarterback, which speaks volumes about how people feel about Dillon Gabriel.
Well, and so this is what's going to be really interesting moving forward. We know what Jimmy Haslam said before the season got underway. We know that he said that he wanted to see both Dillon Gabriel and SHEDEUR Sanders, and you're kind of watching in real time as it feels like Stefanski is going against what his owner and what his boss has initially put out there as the most.
Even after all the heartbreak, confusion, and endless quarterback roulette, the dog pound remains fiercely loyal. Maybe that's why the Browns keep testing their patience, because no matter how wild it gets, those stands never empty. But this SHEDEUR situation just feels off. The timing, the mystery, the fact that the injury report dropped after the footage went viral, it's classic Cleveland misdirection. One part football, one part illusion show. Somewhere right now, a Browns fan is probably building a detective board with strings and arrows trying to piece it all together. There's even talk that this could mess with SHEDEUR's confidence, which, let's be real, is the last thing this team needs. Give it a week and we'll see the press conferences, vague answers, forced smiles, lots of "we're just evaluating." Meanwhile, fans will be online connecting dots like conspiracy theorists with corkboards. It's just so Cleveland. Every time hope knocks, chaos answers. The Browns could win a Super Bowl tomorrow and still find a way to headline with "Cleveland accidentally trades Lombardi Trophy for cap space."
The NFL needs to investigate the Cleveland Browns at this point. So as we all know, they traded Joe Flacco to the Cincinnati Bengals, an in-division rival. Dillon Gabriel is their starter, so that leaves backup, which is most likely should be SHEDEUR Sanders. Kevin Stefanski came out today and said, yeah, they haven't decided who the backup quarterback is going to be between SHEDEUR Sanders and Bailey ZAPPE. Are you kidding me? Bailey ZAPPE? The New England Patriots Bailey ZAPPE?
Still, you have to respect the drama. It's nothing if not entertaining. Other teams play football, Cleveland performs it. You tune in for touchdowns but stay for the plot twists. By week's end, there'll be more leaks, more whispers, and more debate about whether SHEDEUR is actually fine. Maybe it really is just a tight back. But deep down, everyone knows the Browns can't help themselves. They don't chase normal, they chase headlines. So here we are again, with Bailey ZAPPE suddenly elevated and SHEDEUR Sanders mysteriously tightened up overnight. It's ridiculous, confusing, and somehow perfectly on brand. The only thing missing is a theme song. At this point, the best advice for Browns fans is simple: keep the memes flowing, keep expectations low, and never assume stability. Because if Cleveland football has taught the world anything, it's this: just when things seem calm, something spooky's lurking around the corner. And the scariest part? This might not even be the final twist.